Yeah, certainly there is risk associated with the therapy. And the trials were designed in an allergist's office and administered by allergists. And we feel that allergists are best equipped to recognize anaphylaxis. Not only that, but to characterize which patients would benefit from therapy or which ones wouldn't. There is a high rate of misdiagnosis of food allergies in general. And so the last thing you'd want to do is put someone on a therapy when they didn't have the disease to begin with. And so we really feel overall that allergists are best equipped to properly diagnose, and then if treatment is appropriate, to discuss the benefits, the pros and cons of a treatment option, desensitization being perhaps that option, but I think that it is best in the hands of allergists. Yeah, I think number one, it's a little bit of a misunderstanding to think that every peanut allergic patient needs to have a therapy, because the majority of peanut allergic patients are successfully avoiding peanut without having life-threatening reactions. And there is some concern that being on a therapy might actually increase your reaction rate rather than decrease it. And so I think that's a discussion to be had with the family when they're considering whether or not they should or should not undergo a therapy at this point. But the therapies that, in the view of, in most of our mind's eye right now, is these are really pioneering therapies that are on the foundation, and the future therapies will build off of what we're learning from these and what we're seeing from these. But there are many phase 1 trials and phase 2 trials for other investigational therapeutics. And so it's very likely that in 5 or 10 years, surely, we'll have an armamentarium of options for patients. And different options might be best suited for different patients. And like you mentioned, combination therapies, in my mind, are likely. And certainly that's being investigated to see how can we safely deliver therapy and what's the best way to deliver the outcome we're looking for. So peanut allergy itself is rarely outgrown, number one. And if you look at fatalities related to food allergy, peanut tops the list. And if you look at the latest prevalence data, food allergy, peanut is the most prevalent food allergy in the US right now. And so because it's rarely outgrown, because it can be life-threatening, and because it has a significant effect on the quality of life of the kids and their families, then we've really felt overall it's important to address this growing epidemic of food allergy, and starting with peanut. Now, once some of the therapeutics are on the market for peanut, the expectation is that other foods will follow shortly. And so I think, while we're starting with peanut, there's certainly plenty of other food allergens and plenty of families that are affected by more than a peanut allergy alone, that may have multiple food allergies. And so, addressing one allergy and neglecting the others may not be the right fit for everyone. And again, that's part of the discussion that physicians will really need to have with the families of saying, in all practical nature, how's this going to change your life right now? Are you going to do anything differently than you have been doing, and what does that mean for you? And for some families, it's a positive change, and for others, they're not ready to make that step. So it's an honest discussion. It's an interesting time. And it's exciting for the food allergy community that we at least have options to talk about, because we haven't up until now.